What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and here we go. We're going to review the first two episodes of the Obi-Wan Kenobi limited series, whatever you want to call it, on Disney Plus. I actually, I was up. I actually watched Revenge of the Sith literally last night. It's always been a staple in my life, so I wanted to watch it leading into Obi-Wan, and then I checked Twitter. Obi-Wan drops early, right? It dropped at, I think, 10 p.m. my time last night. I was like, well, I wasn't going to stay up till 1 to watch it, but I will stay up till 10 to watch it. So I watched both episodes, and I'm sorry to report, I'm happy to, however you want it, they were mixed. Both those episodes were incredibly mixed. I don't feel great about the future of the series, and I'll talk about why, but specifically these two episodes, there was definitely stuff to like. There was, and we'll talk about it. There was also stuff that I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan, really, of the speed so far. I get it, but when you only have 6 episodes and you're 2 down, third one is Wednesday, you'll be halfway done. The first 2 episodes didn't, in my opinion, accomplish enough, and that's aside from the specific story elements that I didn't like either. So let me quickly say, I will not be spoiling the future, but I do want to say there was a very notorious Reddit leak, and at the time it's like, well, it came from Reddit, so what do you give to that? Do you care? Is it immediately false? I mean, Game of Thrones was actually spoiled on Reddit, so it wasn't unheard of. The leaks were not good. The leaks in terms of where the story goes, Obi-Wan's character, certain events in the story, in my opinion, were not good at all. So there's the worry. Then the show started, and the leaks match. The first 2 episodes of the show match entirely with the beginning of the leaks. So I'm inclined now to believe so is that part of a review for episodes 1 and 2? No, but it's scary because the leaks are true. The leaks are, so if you've seen the leaks, I'm sorry we had it spoiled for us. I walked myself into it by accident, but it is what it is. In terms of the first 2 episodes, I thought they had an incredible opening, and I thought they had an incredible closing. And I'm talking about the opening of episode 1 was insane in a really good way, and then the closing of episode 2 was chef's kiss. It was again, like, there's a lot to actually like about the show. There's some really good acting going, not by everybody, but there is some good acting going on, throughout it. Seeing Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan again, specifically, like, again, I purposely did it to watch 3 right before this, and I was always going to do that. Like, it is incredible. It is incredible to see him back. The issue is he's a shell of his former self, purposely, much kind of in the way of, like, a Luke Skywalker. Now, here's the deal. I am going to be spoiling this, by the way. I do want to spoil this. I guess at least specific story elements of these first 2 episodes. I will say this, and even watching it, I will say this. I buy what they were selling with him as kind of like a broken loser, like a broken old man, more than I bought Luke when they did they did kill Luke, but they also character assassinated him in episode 8. All right, that's my opinion. I buy this more because I buy the narrative that Obi-Wan is a broken man. Like, he did his job, at least what he thought he did. He did his job, he escaped, he's watching over this boy, but I mean, like, clearly, as he can tell from his surroundings, the Empire still... So, my question, I guess, would be, like, how does he assume Vader's dead, but that everything else is still going on? Maybe because, like, he assumed... Well, he knows Yoda failed, so he knows the Emperor is still alive, and maybe that's good enough where the universe is still... or the galaxy is still super destroyed, right? So, I'll buy it. It's not the greatest... Especially also, I guess, you do have Inquisitors coming down, so maybe you're assuming the Inquisitors took up the Darth Vader role. So again, from Obi-Wan's perspective, he did his mission, and he's continuing to do his mission, and he's trying to, he knows what he needs to do with Luke. He's going to train the boy when he gets old enough. That was like an agreement in place, right? All that stuff. But at the same time, he also has loss, because, like, look at everything around you. There's Inquisitors everywhere. They're hunting Jedi. All the Jedi are dead. I buy it. And I actually think Ewan, as Obi-Wan, sells it really well. That kind of stray Jedi that, like, somehow made it to Tatooine as well. And he's, like, looking for Obi-Wan. Again, you get into a tough spot, right? Because you get to that spot where it's like you expect Obi-Wan, that stoic hero, to help him when he says, like, hey, like, I know who you are. Like, you were once a great Jedi. And he's like, get lost. Go bury your lightsaber in the middle of the desert and hide for the rest of your life. And he's like, what happened to you? You do play a very tight rope walk role when you do that, where you can make Obi-Wan look really bad in terms of, again, like character assassination. But I will say that's not that's not really any issues I had with it. He turned himself off from the Force. We know that based off of, well, we know that because they told us that. But also in episode 2, it is very clear he uses the blaster only. He doesn't use the lightsaber. He thinks about it, right? But he only uses the blaster. He saves Leia with the Force. He really doesn't want to because he doesn't want to, unleash that. And then he finally does it. So again, it's very much exactly what Luke did in 8. But again, I'll buy it more because it's like there's every reason for that to happen, in my opinion. 10 years, what I mean? Like, the world is falling apart. Not just the world, everything is falling apart. I get it. In terms of the negatives, I'm really going to focus on Riva. I hate her. I hate her not because she's a villain, but because she's a spoiled brat villain. And I don't know why they wanted to play her off that way. I don't get it. I don't understand. Now, the leaks will tell you some stuff that's going to happen, which I won't tell you because I'm not going to spoil future stuff. I'll only spoil, episodes 1 and 2. The leaks tell you what's going to happen, so there will be some things. But right now, I don't like her, like, at all. And I guess, like, you're not supposed to like her, but also, like, I kind of detest, where it's like, I actually root for the other... I think this is a problem. Rooting for the other Inquisitors, rooting for the Grand Inquisitor, rooting for, by the way, Sung Kang, who plays Han, legendary, in Fast and Furious. He's the other Inquisitor, the one with all the makeup on that has like the sharp teeth. I thought he did really good, by the way. I thought he was a standout throughout both the episodes. I thought he was, so I want to give him credit. Really good job. But you like root for them to like put this girl down. Like, I'm like, yeah, when he says like, you stay right here, we'll deal with you when we come back. And then they leave, and then she does something else. It's like, I hate her. I hate her so much that I understand why the other villains, the ones that are after Jedi murdering them, are heroes. I actually want them to win. I'm rooting for them over this sister part of that, because it's just I think she's the third sister, right? It's like she's a joke. So and obviously they're focusing on her. Obviously she is the primary, even more I would argue right now, well, definitely right now, more than a Darth Vader, but she is going to be, a primary character. I mean, is it surprising they did this? No. Is it, something that they've done before? Yes. Is it something you could have predicted? Yes. Is it good? No. I really don't like her at all. So that's a big negative. And then I guess the lack of like anything truly happening. Again, like, you have to play this arc, and I get the arc they're playing, but you're already a third done. I can't actually stress that enough. You're a third done with the series. Yes, Ewan said like maybe he would come back again if they did something, but let's assume this is it. You have 6 episodes, you've done a third of them, and you've gone on a rescue mission for Leia. And by the way, what in God's name was that? No, I actually like that. I mean, she doesn't seem 10. I have a daughter who's 8, and this is a minor gripe, but like Hollywood obviously has trouble casting like actual ages that they're looking for. High school students being in their early to mid 20s instead of being actual high school students. Different ages with kids. She's supposed to be 10. My daughter's 8. I feel like that girl is also somewhat around that same age. She doesn't seem 10 to me. I like her. She just doesn't and I feel like you could have gotten a 10-year. I don't know. Maybe she actually is 10. She didn't seem 10. And then again, that's why, by the way, again, it's a minor gripe. But I actually liked her. I didn't mind her all that much. Here's the deal, though. Here's what I didn't like, okay? The arc that they took her with Obi-Wan in terms of trust, I thought was so stupid, so dumb. I like her. I even like her kind of jokes. And I also like her being a little bit rebellious, right? Where she kind of just does her own thing. She does little tricks. And it's like they're obviously trying to mirror, right? And even Obi-Wan sees, Padme in her. So it's like you can tell what they're trying to do. But when she goes on the arc of like Obi-Wan saves her, you have no reason to doubt this guy. He says he's your father's friend, like he's there to rescue. He keeps calling you your highness. Like, he's very respectful. Like, and then when people are hunting him, she like flips out and she's like, "Oh my God!" And she runs And she runs and she gets him in all sorts of trouble, which I want to talk about that too in a second, by the way. She gets him in all sorts of trouble, and then when he saves her with the Force, she's like, oh my God, you are a Jedi. It's like, didn't you see the lightsaber? Like, actually, no, you did see the lightsaber, so you thought he stole the lightsaber? I don't get it. I don't actually understand it. So I thought that arc was really pointless, and I guess was just trying to get, because like Obi-Wan was evading the capturing units and the Inquisitors that were like hunting him. So you needed you needed something where the Inquisitors found him. In order to do that, you have to make a big event, right, where people notice that he's around because there's like a firefight on rooftops. You need that to happen so that Riva can find him. Which, by the way, I want to talk about that specifically because I thought that was also a huge standout of being really bad. So he's being attacked by multiple bounty hunters. He's making a huge commotion, and she sees it. She does some weird parkour stuff. A lot of it was not very good, in my opinion. Some of it was okay. A lot of it was bad. She does the parkour. It really makes it seem like she's going to catch up to him. Then he also spends like 30 minutes saving Leia, with the Force, and he goes down into the ground on the ground level, and he talks to her, and they just leave. And it's like, she didn't catch up to you in that amount of time. And then she eventually catches up to you, but it's way later. It's right as you're about to escape. I don't know. I also think they spent a little bit too much time on him cutting the salmon or the meat or the fish or whatever it was and feeding it. And there was a lot, I think, that didn't need to happen. I get it, where it's like, he's trading and they say that, they raided like a Jedi ship and clearly he has some emotions. And I think that's when the series shined. The first two episodes, I really think, shined the most during those scenes where Obi-Wan is kind of reflecting. I also did like the Inquisitor when they were interrogating like Owen and stuff. I thought that was it was tense. It was like, is he gonna give up Obi-Wan? Like, what's he gonna do? I thought that was really good. And I will say, probably maybe the best part of both the episodes, so this will be, towards the final part of this video, the ending of episode 2, I thought was really good in terms of him. So I'm not sure why it played out, and again, this is maybe nitpicking, fine. I'm not sure why it played out exactly the way it did, where, like, when he says Anakin opens his eyes, and by the way, that was leaked, so I knew that was going to happen, and it was still incredible. It was still awesome, and I still really liked it. But why didn't that happen when Riva said, oh, you didn't know Anakin Skywalker lives? Which, by the way, that was good. While I'm not a fan of her character, and I think she's kind of like a brat, I think she's an okay actress. I don't think she's like terrible, and I think she portrayed kind of what she was trying to get at pretty effectively. So, by the way, that scene was incredible, saying like Lord Vader will be pleased or something, and Obi-Wan is like, wait, excuse me? And then she says like, oh, you didn't know? And I think that was the line. Oh, you didn't know Anakin Skywalker lives? And it's like that was good. Her delivery was good in terms of like taunting him and kind of leaning into it, and then his reaction of just being like, holy Jesus Christ, like, are you serious? That was good. That was real good. And then, then when he's with Leia and he's basically having PTSD, he's like panicking, he's breathing all heavy, and then he says Anakin, and then Anakin opens his eyes. That was good. Now again, why did he open his eyes then? Because like Obi-Wan would have done something like that when she said Anakin lived. So it's like, it's odd that the timing was like that. But it was, I'll give it to him. That was good. That was really good. So let me say this too, before people get all upset. I didn't hate them, the first 2 episodes. I wouldn't even say I didn't like them. I thought they were mixed. I thought there was stuff that I did like. I thought there was stuff that I didn't like. I think the show's going to get better in terms of what they're going to do. But I also do think they're going to, again, based off the leaks, I'm not necessarily happy about where it's going to conclude. So we'll see. I mean, I'm going to do reviews on every single episode. I want to hear from you for sure, but that's, my opinion on these 2 episodes. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, so you know when all these videos go up. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on tomorrow's video.